What if I told you that the secret to completely transforming your life doesn't lie in some massive, dramatic change, but in the tiny actions you take every single day? Imagine improving yourself just 1% every day. It sounds small, almost insignificant, right? But what if those small improvements could lead to remarkable results over time? That's the power of atomic habits. And today, we're diving into the first concept, the power of small habits, and how compound growth can turn tiny, daily wins into massive success over time. So why is this important? Because it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. But what if I told you that small, consistent actions, just 1% better every day, could compound into a 37 times improvement over the course of a year? This means that the small habits you start building today will eventually lead to success in every area of your life, from your career to your health to your relationships. In today's video, we're going to explore 3 powerful scenarios that bring this idea to life. First, you'll meet Ryan, a landscape project manager who's overwhelmed and falling behind, but turns everything around by committing to a simple 10-minute daily check-in with his team. It's a small habit that leads to massive clarity and confidence. Then we'll follow Maya, a young professional who's drowning in work. All it took was a small daily habit of setting her priorities, and it completely shifted her productivity, reduced her stress, and got her recognized at work. And finally, you'll watch Sarah, stuck in her career, unsure how to break through. By implementing the 1% rule, making small, marginal improvements in her time management, communication, and organization, she transformed her professional life without needing a huge promotion or dramatic change. These stories show how small, consistent actions can create massive transformations. The power of compound growth means that those 1% improvements may not seem like much today, but over time, they build unstoppable momentum. That's where the magic happens, and you don't need to wait to start. You can begin this process today. So ask yourself, what's one small habit you can commit to? Maybe it's 10 minutes of planning in the morning, or adding just 1% more focus to your tasks, or even a simple 5-minute stretch. Whatever it is, the key is consistency. You don't need to do everything at once, you just need to start. So, get ready to see how these tiny actions, these small habits, can lead to extraordinary results. Over the course of this series, we're going to show you how to apply the principles from atomic habits to your own life. And be sure to stick with us until the end, where I'll provide a clear summary that ties everything together so you can get started today. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to implement the 1% rule in your own life, and why it's the most effective, sustainable way to build success. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Hit that subscribe button and get ready to unlock the potential of compound growth. Let's start building your atomic habits together, one small win at a time. In our first scenario, we're going to follow a landscape project manager who has been struggling, going over budget, losing quality in his projects, and watching his confidence drop. But watch how one small change applied daily transforms not only his work, but his entire approach to his career. As you watch, pay close attention to how small tweaks add up over time. Let's jump in.
Ryan, I've been reviewing the numbers, and I can see the trend. We've been going over budget consistently. The quality is dipping, and clients have started noticing. I know this isn't what you're capable of. I don't want you to burn out, but we need to turn this around.
I know, Karen. I'm trying everything, working late, micromanaging the teams, but it's like I'm always behind no matter what. It feels like I'm just putting out fires instead of moving forward.
I get it. Believe me, I've been there. But what if I told you that you're focusing too much on trying to fix everything at once? I want you to start with one small habit, a daily check in with your team. Just 10 minutes in the morning to go over priorities and align everyone. It's small, but I promise it'll make a big difference over time.
10 minutes? That doesn't seem like it'll fix much. But at this point, I'll try anything.
This is where it all starts. Just a simple 10-minute morning check-in. Doesn't seem like much at first, but over time, these small changes will compound into larger improvements. Ryan is beginning the process of creating clarity and reducing chaos for his team.
I can't believe it, but it's starting to work. The team is more organized and we're already seeing fewer mistakes.
As Ryan stays consistent with his daily check-ins, something interesting happens. His small 1% improvement each day has led to smoother communication, faster decisions, and a more aligned team. Not only is the team performing better, but Ryan is beginning to reclaim his confidence.
finally back on track. Projects are staying within budget, quality has gone up, and I'm not running around putting out fires all day. I just can't believe how much has changed from those simple morning meetings.
I knew you could do it, Ryan. It wasn't about some massive overhaul, it was about those small, consistent changes. You didn't need to fix everything at once, just a little bit each day.
Karen, looking back, it's crazy how just 10 minutes a day made all the difference. It didn't happen overnight, but now, a year later, I'm not just a better manager, I'm a better leader. We're hitting our targets, delivering top quality, and I'm more confident than ever.
It's the power of small habits, Ryan. One step at a time, they compound into something huge. You just had to trust the process.
So, what did we learn from Ryan's journey? One small habit, a 10-minute morning check in, didn't seem like much in the beginning. But over time, it compounded into better communication, improved quality, and a total transformation in his confidence as a leader. This is the essence of compound growth. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to start with something small and stay consistent. Over days, weeks, and months, those 1% improvements will stack up into extraordinary results. Whether you're struggling with your own productivity, health, or relationships, the principle is the same. Start small. Find that one tiny habit you can change and watch how it multiplies over time. This is how you turn your goals into reality. Remember, success isn't about massive leaps, it's about those small, consistent steps. In our next scenario, we're stepping into the fast paced world of a young professional navigating the early stages of their career. If you've ever felt stuck, constantly overwhelmed by the workload, or unsure how to break through to the next level, this one's for you. But here's the key idea I want you to keep in mind. Even a 1% change in your daily habits can create a massive difference over time. At first, it might seem like you're barely moving, but just like a 1% change in trajectory can take you miles off course over time, small improvements compound into something huge. Watch how one small habit, done consistently, completely changes the course of this young professional's career.
Maya, I've been watching your work. You've got potential, but I can see you're feeling overwhelmed. I've been there before. Early in my career, I felt exactly the same way. There's always more to do, and it feels like you're falling behind. What's going on?
Honestly, Ethan, I'm drowning. Every time I finish a task, five more pop up. I'm working hard, but it feels like I'm not making any real progress. It's like I'm constantly stuck in the same place.
I get it. But here's something that changed everything for me. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, focus on getting just 1% better each day. Just 1%. It might not seem like much now, but imagine if you adjust your trajectory by just 1%. Over a long distance, or in this case, over time, it can lead to a completely different destination. Start by making a small improvement to how you manage your day. Spend the first 10 minutes every morning listing out your top 3 priorities. That's it. No big changes, just this small habit. You'll be amazed at what happens when those little actions start to add up.
Just 1%. I guess I can try that. But how is something so small supposed to make a difference?
It seems small, but think of it this way: a plane that adjusts its course by just 1 degree ends up miles away from where it would have landed. Habits work the same way. Small shifts over time can completely change where you end up.
Aya starts with something simple, a daily habit of setting priorities. It takes only 10 minutes, but she sticks with it. At first, it feels insignificant, but like that 1% shift in a plane's course, her progress starts to become noticeable as time goes on.
It's strange. Just setting my priorities for the day has made such a difference. I'm getting more done and I'm less stressed. I feel like I'm finally in control.
As Maya continues her 1% improvement each day, the results become undeniable. That small habit, setting priorities for just 10 minutes, has started to compound. Like the trajectory of a plane, what seemed like a minor change is now leading her in a completely new direction. Her stress is lower, her productivity is higher, and she's starting to stand out.
Ethan, I just wanted to thank you for that advice. I've been doing the 10-minute priority list every day, and it's made a huge difference. I'm not constantly reacting to everything. I'm getting noticed for my work, and I feel like I'm finally moving forward.
That's what happens with small habits. That 1% shift you made in your routine is starting to take you in a whole new direction. Keep it up and imagine where you'll be in 6 months or even a year. Maya, that was an amazing presentation. You've come such a long way in the past year. And to think it all started with that 1% habit.
I never would have thought that 10 minutes a day could change so much. But now I see it. The small shifts in my habits led to bigger and bigger changes. That 1% difference took me farther than I ever imagined.
Maya's story shows us the power of small, consistent changes. That 1% habit, a simple 10 minutes of planning each day, didn't feel like much at first. But just like a 1% shift in a plane's course can lead it to a completely different destination, her small daily habit took her to a new level in her career. Over time, those tiny actions compounded, leading to less stress, more productivity, and ultimately, more confidence and success. If you're feeling stuck in your own job or overwhelmed by everything you have to do, take a lesson from Maya's journey. Start with one small habit. A tiny shift in your daily routine can create massive changes over time. The key is consistency, because over weeks, months, and even years, those 1% improvements will completely transform where you end up. In this final scenario, we're going to explore one of the most powerful concepts from Atomic Habits, the 1% rule, also known as the principle of aggregate marginal gains. This idea isn't just about making one huge leap forward. It's about the accumulation of small, seemingly insignificant improvements that, when combined over time, lead to remarkable results. In this story, we'll follow Sarah, a young professional who's been feeling stuck in her career. No big promotions, no major breakthroughs. But instead of waiting for one huge opportunity to turn things around, she decides to implement the 1% rule, making small, marginal improvements every day. What happens next is proof that small gains over time can lead to massive change.
Sarah, what's up? You've been working hard, but you don't look too happy with that review.
It's fine, Kevin. I'm doing well, but that's just it. I'm stuck in good. I've been at the same level for the last couple of years. I want to take my career to the next level, but no matter what I do, it feels like I'm not making real progress.
I get it. You're not alone in feeling that way. But what if the problem isn't about making some massive change or waiting for a big break? What if the answer is in making small 1% improvements every day? I've been reading this book, Atomic Habits, and it talks about the principle of aggregate marginal gains. It's all about improving just 1% in every area consistently and letting those small gains compound over time.
1%? That sounds too small. How could something like that make a difference in my career?
I know it sounds small, but think about it this way: 1% every day might not seem like much, but over a year, that adds up to a lot of improvement. What if you focused on getting just a little bit better in key areas? How you organize your time, how you present your ideas, even how you manage stress. Small gains every day. It's not flashy, but over time, it's the kind of thing that makes you stand out.
All right, you've got my attention. I'll try it. 1% improvements. Where do I start?
Sarah starts with something small, a 10-minute time management review each morning. At first, it doesn't seem like much, but she's already implementing the 1% rule. With each small improvement in her time management, she's becoming more efficient without even realizing it.
It's only been a few weeks, but I'm already noticing a difference. Blocking out those 10 minutes every morning has helped me stay focused, and I'm not scrambling anymore. I'm actually feeling more in control.
And that's the power of small gains. It's not just about time management. Now that you've mastered that, you can start making 1% improvements in other areas: your presentations, your emails, even how you communicate with the team. Keep stacking those small wins.
With each passing week, Sarah continues to make small 1% improvements. She's improving her communication skills, mastering her time management, and refining how she prepares for meetings. These small gains, combined over time, are starting to make her stand out from her colleagues.
Sarah, I've noticed a real change in your work over the last few months. Your presentations are sharper and your attention to detail is noticeable. You're really stepping up.
Thank you. I've been focusing on making small improvements every day. I didn't think it would make such a difference, but now I see how it all adds up.
Look at you, Sarah. A year ago, you were frustrated and feeling stuck. Now you're running major projects, getting the recognition you deserve. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. At the beginning, I didn't think those 1% changes would add up. But now, looking back, I see how all those small improvements, every email, every presentation, every minute of planning, compounded into something big. I didn't need a huge breakthrough. I just needed to get a little better every day.
That's what it's all about. Aggregate marginal gains. It wasn't one big leap. It was the power of small, consistent improvements that transformed your career.
What Sarah experienced is what the 1% rule is all about. She didn't need a promotion or a major breakthrough to transform her career. By focusing on making small 1% improvements every day, improving her time management, communication, and organization, she achieved remarkable results over time. This is the principle of aggregate marginal gains. It's not the big, flashy changes that lead to success. It's the small, consistent actions that add up. The power of the 1% rule lies in its simplicity. You don't need to wait for a big opportunity to make progress. Start today by making small improvements, and over time, you'll see how those tiny gains compound into something extraordinary. So, what's the takeaway from Sarah's story? If you feel stuck or frustrated in your career or in any area of life, don't wait for some massive breakthrough. Start small. Commit to improving by just 1% each day, whether it's in how you manage your time, how you communicate, or how you plan your day. Trust in the process of aggregate marginal gains. The results will surprise you. What we've seen in these three stories is the raw, transformative power of the 1% rule. How small, consistent improvements can lead to extraordinary change. These weren't stories about dramatic overnight success. They were stories about persistence, patience, and the power of small daily actions. First, we met Ryan, the landscape project manager who was overwhelmed and struggling to keep his projects on track. What turned things around? A simple 10-minute daily check-in with his team. It wasn't a massive overhaul. It was a small habit that, day by day, reduced chaos and built clarity. That 1% improvement each morning completely transformed his projects and his confidence. Then we saw Maya, a young professional drowning in her workload. But with just 10 minutes each morning dedicated to planning her top priorities, she shifted her entire career trajectory. That tiny change in how she managed her time compounded into greater productivity, less stress, and the recognition she had been working so hard for. And finally, we watched Sarah apply the 1% rule to her career. Frustrated and feeling stuck, Sarah didn't need a massive promotion or a dramatic opportunity. She started making small, daily improvements, organizing her time better, improving her communication, refining her presentation skills. Over the course of a year, those tiny gains compounded into major professional growth. She became a leader recognized for her hard work and improvement, all thanks to consistent 1% progress. In all of these stories, there's a common theme. You don't need to make massive changes to achieve massive results. The truth is, small, seemingly insignificant gains when added up lead to remarkable transformations. This is the essence of the 1% rule, the principle of aggregate marginal gains. Every day, you're building momentum, one small win at a time. Here's what's exciting. You have the power to start today. Whatever you're working on, your career, your health, your relationships, don't wait for some perfect moment or massive breakthrough. Start with one small change. Get 1% better today than you were yesterday, and then do it again tomorrow. You won't see the results overnight, but trust me, just like Ryan, Maya, and Sarah, you'll look back one day and realize that those tiny steps have carried you miles. That's what Atomic Habits is all about. And the best part? This is just the beginning. In our next video, we're going to dive deep into the 4 laws of behavior change, the exact framework you need to build lasting positive habits that stick. It's where we get tactical, and you'll learn how to design your habits so that they're not only easier to stick to, but actually fun and rewarding to maintain. You don't want to miss this. So, if you're ready to start transforming your life, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is your journey, and we're in this together. Like this video if you felt the power of these stories, Share it with someone who's ready to make a change, and let's keep building those atomic habits, one small win at a time.